Have you ever wondered why some people seem to climb every mountain, break every barrier, and achieve what most only dream of, while others struggle to take even a single step forward? Think about it for a moment. You've tried, you've planned, you've set goals and even believed in them, but somehow the progress never feels enough. The world tells you success is complicated, that you need the right timing, the perfect strategy, the perfect skills. And every time you look around, it seems like everyone else has some secret code, a hidden formula that you can't quite reach. But here's the truth they don't tell you, the truth that most people ignore, even when it's staring them in the face. Success is not about complexity. It's not about doing 10 things at once, chasing 100 ideas, or waiting for the perfect moment that will never arrive. The people who achieve extraordinary results don't overcomplicate. They don't sit paralyzed by choices or strategies or doubts. They follow one principle, one rule, and they follow it with relentless consistency. This rule is the foundation beneath every achievement, every victory, every breakthrough you've ever admired. And the reward for understanding it is immense. It's not just the success itself, it's the freedom that comes with clarity, the certainty that no matter what happens, there's a path forward. Imagine waking up each day knowing exactly what to do. No confusion, no hesitation, no fear of missing something important. Imagine feeling a power within you, a quiet confidence that builds every single day simply because you chose to act when others hesitated. That power is the result of mastering this one rule, and here's why it works. The world's complexity is a trap. Every new app, every new method, every new piece of advice fragments your focus and drains your energy. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. The more choices you face, the weaker your ability to act becomes. It's why most plans fail, not because they are flawed, but because the brain cannot maintain focus on too many paths at once. But the people who succeed see through this illusion. They reduce life to one clear action, one non-negotiable habit, one principle that becomes a compass through chaos. And that simplicity creates a momentum that multiplies itself. Each small step becomes easier, each choice clearer, each day a building block toward the life you desire. Right now, you have a chance to do the same, to stop chasing endless strategies and instead anchor yourself in the principle that truly matters. By embracing this rule, you are choosing clarity over confusion, action over hesitation, growth over stagnation. You are choosing to become someone who shows up, who moves forward, who refuses to be paralyzed by complexity or fear. And the incredible truth is this: once you commit to it, once you live it consistently, everything else begins to fall into place. The doors that seem closed open slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, and then with a force that feels unstoppable. Your efforts, your persistence, your presence, all of it compounds. This is the power of focusing on one rule, one principle, one unwavering action. By the time this video ends, you will understand exactly what that rule is and how to wield it to transform your life. And when you do, you will see that success is never about luck or talent. It's about a simple, unshakable commitment, a decision to show up again and again no matter what. The moment you realize that success is not about talent, timing, or luck is the moment your life begins to change. For years, society has fed you a lie that only the gifted, the fortunate, or the naturally brilliant achieve greatness. You were told that if you weren't born exceptional, your chances were limited. That belief has held countless people back, keeping them trapped in self-doubt, hesitation, and endless comparison. But the truth is far more liberating. Success does not require genius. It does not require a perfect resume, flawless skill, or endless resources. It demands something far simpler, far more powerful: persistence. Psychologist Angela Duckworth calls it grit, the unwavering drive to keep moving forward even when the road is hard, even when every part of you wants to quit. This is the engine behind every breakthrough, the invisible force that separates those who reach their dreams from those who only talk about them. Talent alone fades when tested. Ideas alone falter without action. But relentless persistence, the kind that refuses to be defeated by fear or failure, transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Imagine how different your life would be if you understood this truth fully. Imagine waking up each day, not wondering if you are enough, but knowing that what matters is not where you start, but how consistently you move forward. That knowledge is liberating. It clears the noise, removes the pressure to be perfect, and replaces it with one actionable truth. Keep going. Keep showing up. Keep taking steps, no matter how small, and over time, the steps add up. The compounding effect of repeated effort is astonishing. What seems impossible now, what feels distant and unattainable, becomes inevitable when action becomes non-negotiable. You do not have to be special. You do not have to be extraordinary. You have to be consistent. Every time you feel fear, hesitation, or doubt, that is the exact moment that shapes your future. When everyone else stops, when everyone else questions themselves, persistence becomes your silent advantage. It's invisible, almost imperceptible, but its impact is profound. Your confidence grows not because the world hands it to you, but because you earn it daily through proof. Proof that you show up, that you act, that you refuse to quit. This principle levels the playing field. It gives anyone, regardless of background, education, or circumstance, the ability to achieve results that others believe are impossible. And the freedom that comes from understanding it is intoxicating. You no longer wait for permission. You no longer rely on external validation. You are in control because you understand the simple, undeniable rule. Effort sustained over time beats talent left idle. This realization removes fear, clears doubt, and replaces uncertainty with direction. It rewires your mindset from questioning whether you can succeed to knowing that success is simply a matter of your willingness to keep moving. Your past failures, your missed opportunities, your moments of insecurity, they no longer define you. Each is now fuel, a reminder that the path forward has always been built, one step at a time, one decision at a time. The power is in your hands. The choice is yours. Persist and you will see doors open that you never thought possible. Stop and you remain trapped in the same patterns, the same frustrations, the same life. The question is simple, but the answer will shape everything. Will you show up again, no matter what? Will you let persistence, not chance, determine your future? The moment you commit to that, the world bends to your determination, and the life you've imagined begins to take form. Comfort is a silent enemy. It whispers to you, lulls you into safety, and convinces you that staying where you are is enough. It disguises itself as peace, but in reality, it is stagnation. Every dream you've held, every vision you've imagined requires leaving that comfort behind. Growth does not come from ease. It comes from stretching beyond the familiar, from stepping into discomfort and standing firm while the world shakes around you. Psychologists have studied this extensively. They call it the comfort zone paradox. The closer you cling to what is easy, the further you are from what is possible. Every boundary you hesitate to cross, every risk you avoid, every challenge you shrink from, keeps you trapped in a life that is smaller than your potential. Your mind wants security, but your soul craves growth. It's a tension you cannot escape if you want to achieve greatness. The fear of discomfort is natural, but it is not your destiny. The people who create extraordinary lives are not those who avoid difficulty. They are the ones who choose it. They move toward what scares them. They embrace challenges, knowing that the resistance they face is a sign of progress. The muscles of courage, resilience, and strength grow only under tension. You will not develop them by avoiding struggle. You will not discover your capacity by choosing the easy path. Every moment you choose comfort over growth, you trade potential for safety, dreams for excuses, and ambition for ease. But you can change this now. You can decide that comfort no longer dictates your life. You can lean into the tension, face the uncertainty, and keep moving when your instincts scream to stop. The one rule that guides every person who achieves more than they ever imagined lives in this space. Show up even when it hurts. Show up when the task feels too hard, when the world doubts you, when you doubt yourself. That is where transformation begins. That is where ordinary people become unstoppable. Every step outside comfort compounds into strength. Every time you do what is difficult, you expand your limits. Your confidence grows, not from ease, but from proof. Proof that you can endure, proof that you can rise, proof that you can persist when everything inside you wants to retreat. Imagine the life you desire, not as a distant dream, but as a reality waiting for you to claim it. Every discomfort you face is a building block, every challenge a step closer. This is not motivational fluff, it is neuroscience and human psychology in action. Your brain, your habits, your very identity reshape themselves when you repeatedly choose challenge over comfort. That is the power you hold. The path is simple, though not easy. Choose discomfort, embrace it, lean into resistance, persist, show up. That is how you break the limits that have held you back. That is how you step into the life you were meant to live. Every hesitation you overcome, every fear you face, every uncomfortable moment you endure transforms into momentum. Momentum that propels you forward beyond what you thought possible toward a future that belongs only to those willing to leave comfort behind. If I told you that the secret to every achievement you admire, every life transformed, every barrier broken, could be summed up in one simple action, not strategy, not talent, not luck, but the decision to show up fully, without excuses, without delay, without waiting for perfect conditions. This is the rule that underpins every success story you have ever heard. It sounds almost too simple, almost too obvious, yet most people overlook it because it demands something they fear more than failure itself: consistent action. Showing up is not glamorous, it is not dramatic, it is not rewarded immediately, but it is unstoppable. Neuroscience shows that the brain forms patterns through repetition, not inspiration. Habits, routines, and progress are built by doing, not by feeling motivated. Every great performer, every influential leader, every innovator reached their level not because they felt ready or confident or inspired, but because they chose to act, even when they didn't. They showed up every day. The rule is deceptively easy to describe, but profoundly difficult to implement. Showing up means facing fear head on, pushing through discomfort, and taking action when it would be easier to quit. It means doing the work when the world isn't watching, when nobody notices, when no one applauds. That is where true transformation lives, in the unseen, uncelebrated moments when you refuse to step back, refuse to shrink, refuse to give in. This is why showing up is more powerful than talent, strategy, or even intelligence. Talent fades, plans fail. Intelligence alone accomplishes little without action. But the person who shows up consistently builds momentum, and momentum compounds. Small efforts, repeated, lead to massive results. Every moment you commit to presence, to effort, to persistence, you are sending a signal to yourself and to the world. You are here to move forward no matter what. Your doubts, your fears, your insecurities, none of them can withstand the power of consistent action. This rule is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is not about doing everything right. It is about doing the next right thing again and again. When you embrace this principle, everything changes. You stop waiting for conditions to be perfect, for energy to be high, or for confidence to arrive. You stop depending on external factors because you realize the only factor that matters is you showing up. Each decision to act, each step you take despite fear or uncertainty reinforces your capability. It rewires your mind, strengthens your habits, and builds a momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. Imagine a life you could create if you never missed a single opportunity to show up. Imagine the doors that would open, the skills you would develop, the influence you would gain simply because you refuse to retreat. That is the power of this one rule. It is simple yet profound. It is accessible yet rare. It is within reach of anyone willing to commit, yet ignored by those who seek shortcuts or excuses. Show up again and again. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for certainty. Act, persist, be present, and watch as your world transforms step by step, moment by moment, into a life shaped by courage, consistency, and unstoppable momentum. Motivation feels good in the moment, but it is fleeting. It comes and goes like a wave, washing over you briefly before fading into nothing. You cannot rely on it to carry you to your goals. It cannot sustain you when the work is hard, when your energy is low, or when the world seems determined to hold you back. Discipline is what endures. Discipline is what takes you through the dark hours, the long stretches where nothing seems to change, and the moments when giving up would feel natural. Neuroscience confirms this. Your brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, to follow comfort rather than challenge. Motivation plays into these impulses, but discipline overrides them. It is a conscious decision, a commitment you make to yourself that is independent of how you feel. Every successful person you admire has cultivated this skill. They have learned to show up even when they do not feel like it, to take action even when their body and mind resist, to honor a commitment to themselves over the temptation of temporary ease. This is why the rule of showing up is inseparable from discipline. Action without consistency is chaos. Consistency without action is meaningless. Discipline bridges the gap. It transforms intention into reality. It turns ideas into habits, habits into skills, skills into achievements. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, your brain strengthens new pathways. Your mind learns that you are someone who follows through, someone who persists, someone who delivers results regardless of circumstance. This is how self-confidence grows. Not from external praise, not from instant gratification, but from the undeniable proof that you are capable, that you are reliable, that you can endure. Think about how much of your life has been lost waiting for the right mood, the perfect motivation, or the ideal conditions. All of that time could have been spent building momentum one step at a time. Discipline removes that waiting. It does not care about how you feel. It does not require inspiration. It only requires commitment. And the remarkable thing is that once you make discipline a non-negotiable part of your life, momentum begins to build on its own. Small efforts compound, progress accelerates, and you become unstoppable. You no longer depend on external circumstances to succeed because your success is now generated internally through your unwavering commitment to action. Every day you honor discipline, you reinforce your capacity to achieve. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than doubt, braver than fear, and more persistent than excuses. This is the foundation of transformation. Without it, potential remains dormant, ideas remain dreams, and ambitions fade into frustration. With it, nothing can stop you. You are no longer a passive observer of your life. You are the architect, the builder, the force that shapes reality according to your vision. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. And when you combine it with the rule of showing up, you unlock a power that is greater than talent, luck, or circumstance. It is the power to create your life, step by step, day by day, with relentless action, unwavering focus, and unstoppable momentum. Every action you take creates a ripple in your life, a force that either moves you closer to your potential or drags you further into the comfort of stagnation. Most people underestimate the power of showing up consistently because they focus only on the visible results, the promotions, the awards, the recognition. But true transformation is invisible at first. It happens in the repetition, the choices made when no one is watching, the moments when you refuse to quit despite fatigue, doubt, or fear. Every time you act, even imperfectly, you are building proof within yourself. You are telling your brain that you are capable, that you are committed, that you are someone who follows through. Psychologists call this self-efficacy, the internal belief in your ability to influence outcomes through your actions. It is the single most powerful predictor of achievement across all areas of life. When you show up, you strengthen this belief. When you hesitate, you weaken it. The world does not create confidence for you. The world does not hand you courage. You must generate it through action. The rule of showing up is a master key because it does not rely on luck, talent, or circumstance. It relies on your presence, your consistency, your refusal to be defeated by fear or discomfort. Each day you honor this principle, you create momentum. That momentum compounds. Small victories accumulate into major breakthroughs. The person who shows up when it is hard discovers strength they never knew existed. They develop resilience that withstands setbacks, courage that confronts uncertainty, and focus that ignores distraction. Your potential is not fixed. It is built, moment by moment, choice by choice. Every time you act in alignment with your highest goals, you reinforce your identity. You reinforce who you are becoming. The human brain is wired to adapt to repeated behavior. What you do repeatedly, what you commit to daily shapes not only your habits, but your very sense of self. By showing up consistently, you are not just producing results. You are reshaping your identity, transforming from someone who hopes into someone who achieves. The beauty of this rule is its simplicity. There are no complicated systems, no secret formulas, no endless strategies. There is only one principle: show up. Show up when it is uncomfortable. Show up when you feel doubt. Show up when the world does not notice. Every single act of presence is an investment in yourself. Every small effort compounds into capability. Every persistent action creates proof that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. You are training your mind, your body, and your spirit to expect success, to tolerate difficulty, and to pursue excellence relentlessly. There is no shortcut, no substitute, no alternative. The rule is simple, yet profound. You do not wait for the perfect moment. You do not wait for inspiration or luck or readiness. You act. You show up. And when you do, the momentum you generate carries you forward in ways that feel unstoppable, inevitable, and entirely within your control. This is how ordinary people rise to extraordinary heights. This is how you transform potential into reality. One committed, relentless, uncompromising step at a time. Every time you hesitate, every time you wait for the perfect conditions, you are choosing delay over action, stagnation over growth, fear over courage. The world rewards those who do, not those who dream. It does not bend for indecision. It does not pause for uncertainty. Every achievement, every breakthrough, every life transformed has one thing in common: relentless, repeated action in the face of doubt. Showing up is not about feeling ready. It's about refusing to be paralyzed by fear, refusing to let uncertainty dictate your choices, and refusing to let excuses steal your future. Research in behavioral psychology shows that action triggers clarity. The act of doing reveals what is possible, what is necessary, and what is within your control. Waiting for clarity, waiting for certainty, is the trap that keeps most people stuck. But when you show up, you create movement, and movement generates insight, energy, and momentum. You begin to see patterns, to recognize opportunities, and to build the skills that only emerge through practice. Every small effort matters. Every consistent choice compounds into capability, influence, and achievement. This is how ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. This is how the impossible becomes possible. The path is never perfect, but it is always present to those willing to take it. Every challenge you face is an invitation to act, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than fear, braver than doubt, and more persistent than your excuses. You do not need permission. You do not need a roadmap. You only need to show up. Every time you honor this principle, you reinforce the belief in your own capability. You teach your brain that you are someone who delivers results, who persists through difficulty, who rises when others fall. That internal proof cannot be taken from you, cannot be shaken by circumstance, and cannot be stolen by anyone else. Momentum is built in the small moments, the early mornings, the long nights, the choices to do the work when it is hard, when it is inconvenient, when it is uncomfortable. Each act of presence is a seed that grows into confidence, resilience, and mastery. You begin to see that the world does not determine your outcome. You do. The person who shows up consistently rewires their mind, strengthens their habits, and shapes their identity. They stop being someone who dreams and start being someone who achieves. There is no magic in success, no secret ingredient, no external force that guarantees results. There is only action repeated over time, commitment honored when it is difficult, and presence maintained when the path is unclear. This is the one rule. This is the force that turns effort into excellence, fear into courage, and potential into reality. The choice is yours. Will you wait for life to happen to you, or will you create it through the simple, unstoppable act of showing up? Every day you show up, you move closer to the person you are meant to become, the life you are meant to live, and the impact only you can make. It begins here, now, in your willingness to act. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you are reshaping your reality. Each moment you refuse to back down from difficulty, you are proving something vital. That your life is not determined by circumstance, but by your willingness to act. The truth is stark and simple. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they stop moving when it gets hard. They wait for motivation to arrive, for confidence to appear, or for obstacles to vanish. But motivation is fleeting. Confidence is fragile. Obstacles will never disappear. The only constant you can rely on is your decision to show up again and again, even when it hurts, even when it seems pointless, even when the results are invisible. Neuroscience confirms that action builds the neural pathways of confidence and competence. Every step you take reinforces the belief in your own power. Every choice to move forward strengthens your capacity to endure, to persist, to overcome. The person who acts relentlessly day after day is unstoppable, not because they are immune to fear, doubt, or difficulty, but because they have trained themselves to respond with action rather than hesitation. This is the essence of transformation. You cannot think your way into greatness. You cannot wish or hope your way into it. You must act. You must persist. You must show up even when it is hard, even when the world feels heavy, even when your energy is low. Every act of presence is a declaration to yourself and to the world that you are not bound by excuses, that you will not be defeated by uncertainty, that you are committed to the life you imagine. It is in these moments, invisible to others, that true power is forged. Momentum is created through repetition, consistency, and resilience. Each action compounds, building a force that carries you forward faster and stronger than any external support could provide. You begin to notice that fear shrinks in the presence of action. Doubt dissolves in the light of persistence. Every barrier that once seemed insurmountable becomes manageable when you approach it with the mindset of someone who shows up no matter what. The life you desire is not a distant dream. It is a series of choices, each demanding your presence, your courage, your commitment. The difference between the life you have and the life you imagine is simply this: how often are you willing to show up for yourself? Every single day you honor this principle, you create proof within yourself that you are capable of more than you ever believed. You are rewiring your mind, strengthening your habits, and shaping your identity. You are transforming from someone who waits for life to happen into someone who makes life happen. The beauty of this rule is that it is simple, yet profound. There are no shortcuts, no secret formulas, no external conditions required. There is only your choice to act again and again, persistently, relentlessly. Your future is built in these small, consistent moments of courage. Every time you show up, you move closer to mastery, closer to freedom, closer to the person you were meant to become. This is your power, your responsibility, your opportunity. It begins with action. It begins with showing up, and it continues with the unwavering decision to never stop. Every day you wait, every time you hesitate, opportunity slips quietly past you. Life does not pause for doubt, and the world does not bend for fear. Every achievement, every breakthrough, every success begins with one simple truth: you must show up. Not when it feels easy, not when circumstances are perfect, not when motivation floods your mind like a sudden tide. You must show up when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, uncertain, and even frightening. That is when transformation occurs. Psychologists describe this as the principle of exposure. Repeated confrontation with challenges builds resilience, confidence, and competence. The mind and body learn to adapt, to endure, and to excel through repetition. Each act of courage reinforces the belief that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are unstoppable. The world rewards those who take action, not those who wait. Waiting is seductive because it feels safe. Hesitation offers the illusion of protection, but it slowly erodes your potential. Comfort is a slow poison, convincing you that safety is enough, that delay is harmless, that waiting is wise. But every moment you choose delay, every time you choose ease over effort, you forfeit growth, weaken your habits, and distance yourself from the life you are capable of creating. The principle of showing up shatters this illusion. It is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. It is not dependent on luck or circumstance. It is simple, relentless, and effective. Showing up is a declaration: I refuse to be ruled by fear. I refuse to be held back by doubt. I refuse to let hesitation dictate my future. Each choice to act, even when small, compounds into unstoppable momentum. Each repeated effort builds proof, confidence, and resilience that cannot be taken from you. The power lies not in the magnitude of your actions, but in their consistency. A single act may feel insignificant, but repeated daily, it reshapes your life. Your identity shifts, your habits solidify, and your capacity to achieve expands beyond what you ever imagined. Neuroscience shows that repeated actions rewire the brain, creating pathways that make success automatic, natural, and inevitable. You are no longer someone who hopes or dreams. You are someone who acts, someone who endures, someone who conquers. Fear becomes fuel, doubt becomes direction, and resistance becomes the measuring stick of your strength. Every time you show up, you step closer to mastery, to fulfillment, to the life that belongs to those who refuse to quit. This is the essence of transformation: small, consistent, deliberate actions that compound into extraordinary results. There is no shortcut, no magic formula, no external force that can replace your presence. You hold the power, you hold the control, you hold the rule. Show up, persist, act, Every moment you honor this principle, you move closer to the life you are meant to live, the person you are meant to become, and the impact only you can create. Your future is built in these repeated choices, in these relentless acts of presence, in this unwavering commitment to action. It begins now with the courage to step forward and continues as long as you refuse to stop. Every time you question yourself, every time fear whispers that you are not ready, remember this: readiness is a myth. No one ever feels fully prepared when greatness calls. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not timing, not talent, not luck. It is action. Person who shows up when it is hard, when it is uncomfortable, when every instinct tells them to stop, is the one who changes their life. Psychologists call this the principle of behavioral activation. Action precedes motivation, not the other way around. Waiting for confidence or inspiration is a trap. Action generates both. Every step you take builds courage, every choice you make reinforces strength, and every effort compounds into momentum that cannot be stopped. Your doubts do not define you, your actions do. The life you desire does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who act relentlessly, who persist when others quit, who show up even when the world seems indifferent. The rule is simple, yet transformative. Show up. Show up to the work, to the challenge, to the discomfort, to the long hours no one sees. Show up when failure feels imminent and success seems distant. The act of showing up repeated day after day rewires your brain, reshapes your habits, and transforms your identity. You begin to see yourself not as someone who hopes, but as someone who delivers, not as someone who dreams, but as someone who creates. Momentum builds quietly at first, almost imperceptibly, but it grows into a force that propels you forward. The small victories accumulate, the skills compound, and the confidence becomes unshakable. This is the power of presence, the power of persistence, the power of showing up. Comfort and hesitation will always attempt to pull you back, to dilute your commitment, to convince you that waiting is safer. But safety is a cage, and hesitation is the lock. Every act of courage, every moment you resist the pull of ease, every choice to persist despite fear breaks the chains that hold you back. Your future is created in these moments, not in idle contemplation, not in wishful thinking, not in waiting for perfect conditions. Action transforms potential into reality, fear into courage, and dreams into results. Every time you honor this principle, you build proof within yourself that you are capable, that you are resilient, that you are unstoppable. Your identity shifts, your capacity expands, and your life begins to reflect the power of consistent effort. There is no shortcut, no secret, no external force that can replace your presence. You hold the rule, you hold the power, you hold the key to transformation. The moment you decide to show up, despite fear, despite doubt, despite uncertainty, the path forward becomes clear. Momentum is generated, confidence grows, and possibility becomes reality. The person you are becoming is forged in the fire of repeated action, discipline, and presence. Your life is built in these choices, one deliberate step at a time, and the power to create it belongs to no one else but you. Every barrier you face exists to test your commitment, to measure how badly you want the life you imagine. The world will not pause for your uncertainty. Opportunities will not wait while you hesitate. Every second you spend doubting, procrastinating, or seeking comfort is a second lost from the life you could be building, lost from the progress you are capable of making. Fear, doubt, and hesitation are inevitable, but they are powerless when met with action. The principle of showing up is not abstract. It is practical, measurable, and transformative. Each time you take action, you teach your brain that effort is rewarded, that persistence leads to results, and that you are capable of more than you previously believed. Neuroscience confirms that repeated effort rewires neural pathways, strengthens habits, and builds resilience. Every choice to act reinforces your capacity, your confidence, and your momentum. The small actions you take each day are not insignificant. They are the invisible force that compounds into mastery, influence, and achievement. You do not need permission to act. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need assurance that success is guaranteed. You only need the courage to show up. Every single time you honor this principle, you are investing in yourself, building proof that you are capable, and creating momentum that carries you forward. Resistance, discomfort, and fear are signals, not obstacles. They are the markers of growth. They indicate that you are moving beyond the familiar, pushing past limitations, and expanding your capacity. Each moment you persist in the face of these challenges strengthens your resilience, sharpens your focus, and solidifies your identity as someone who acts, someone who persists, someone who succeeds. The person you become is forged in these moments, not in ease, not in waiting, not in perfection. Action transforms potential into reality. Discipline transforms effort into skill, and presence transforms hesitation into unstoppable momentum. Imagine the life you could create if you showed up relentlessly day after day without waiting for conditions to be perfect. Every missed opportunity, every moment you delayed, every excuse you indulged in is replaced with progress, proof, and growth. The world responds to those who act, and the universe bends to the persistent. Momentum, once built, compounds in ways that feel unstoppable, inevitable, and undeniable. You are no longer subject to circumstance. You are no longer defined by fear. You are no longer limited by hesitation. Each deliberate step, each choice to show up, each act of persistence rewires your life, your identity, your habits, and your results begin to reflect your commitment. There is no shortcut, no external validation, no magic required. Only presence, only persistence, only action. The rule is simple, but its impact is profound. Show up. Show up when it is hard. Show up when it is uncomfortable. Show up when nobody is watching. Show up until the momentum you build becomes unstoppable, until your potential becomes reality, until your life becomes a testament to the power of consistent, unwavering action. This is the principle that defines those who achieve, those who create, and those who rise above what others accept as normal. Every day you delay is a day wasted, a day surrendered to doubt, to fear, to the invisible chains of hesitation. The life you imagine is not built in waiting rooms, in moments of comfort, or in periods of uncertainty. It is built in action, in presence, in the courage to show up when it is hardest. The rule is simple, yet its power is profound. Show up. Not once, not occasionally, but consistently, relentlessly, without compromise. Each act of presence sends a signal to your brain, to your habits, to your identity. You are someone who moves forward, someone who endures, someone who creates. Neuroscience has proven that repeated action rewires neural pathways, strengthening the circuits that govern discipline, focus, and resilience. Every choice to act becomes a proof point, a reinforcement of your capacity, a building block of unstoppable momentum. You do not need inspiration to act. Inspiration is unreliable, fleeting, and external. You need discipline. You need commitment. You need the unshakable decision to show up again and again despite discomfort, doubt, or fear. Momentum is not born in ease. It is forged in the crucible of persistence. The small victories, repeated daily, accumulate into results so significant that they feel inevitable. Fear loses its power when met with action. Resistance becomes a signal of growth rather than a barrier to it. Every challenge you confront and endure expands your capacity, sharpens your focus, and solidifies your identity. You are no longer someone who hopes. You are someone who acts. You are no longer defined by circumstance. You are defined by your choices. The life you desire is not a distant dream. It is built in these moments of courage, these acts of presence, these decisions to persist when it is hardest. Each day you show up, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, resilient, and unstoppable. Each day you act, you create momentum that compounds in ways that cannot be reversed. You begin to see that your potential is not a limit, it is a starting point. Your capacity is not fixed, it is expandable. Every deliberate action, every refusal to quit, every moment you push forward reshapes your identity, your habits, and your results. There is no shortcut. There is no magic. There is only your choice. To act, to persist, to remain present in the face of difficulty. This choice defines the people who achieve extraordinary results, who rise above average expectations, who transform dreams into reality. Your life responds to the consistency of your presence. Your confidence, resilience, and mastery grow in direct proportion to your commitment to act. Every moment you show up reinforces the truth. Success is not a matter of chance, talent, or circumstance. It is a matter of action. Repeat it until it becomes unstoppable momentum. The world rewards those who act, those who persist, those who refuse to quit. Your power lies in this principle. Your control lies in this principle. Your transformation begins and continues as long as you commit to showing up no matter what, every single day. The life you imagine is waiting for your presence, your action, and your courage. Show up, persist, transform. Every time you hesitate, every moment you postpone action, you are choosing to remain where you are instead of moving toward who you are meant to become. Life does not wait for clarity, comfort, or perfect conditions. Every second spent waiting, doubting, or overthinking is a second that could have been invested in progress, growth, and transformation. Success is not an event. It is the accumulation of consistent, deliberate choices made when it is difficult, inconvenient, and uncomfortable. The rule is simple. Show up. Show up even when it hurts. Show up when doubt creeps in. Show up when the path ahead is unclear. Every act of presence, repeated day after day, compounds into momentum so powerful that it becomes unstoppable. Neuroscience demonstrates that repeated action rewires the brain, strengthens habits, and builds resilience. Each decision to act reinforces your capacity, shapes your identity, and fuels your momentum. This is the invisible force that drives extraordinary results. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes with your mood and energy. Discipline endures. Discipline is the commitment to action regardless of how you feel. It is the bridge between desire and achievement, between intention and reality. The person who masters this principle shows up consistently, even when the outcome is uncertain, even when the effort feels endless, even when the world seems indifferent. Momentum is built in the small, repeated actions that others overlook. Each step, each effort, each moment of persistence becomes proof that you are capable, proof that you can endure, proof that you can achieve. Comfort and hesitation are the greatest enemies of potential. They convince you that waiting is safe, that delay is harmless, that ease is sufficient. But every moment surrendered to comfort is a moment lost from the life you are capable of creating. Growth exists outside of ease. Transformation requires discomfort. Courage is developed in the face of resistance. Strength is forged through persistence. Every time you act despite fear, you reinforce the truth that nothing can stop you except your own hesitation. The life you desire is not created in waiting. It is created in showing up day after day, step after step, action after action. Each deliberate choice compounds into capability, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Your identity shifts as your habits solidify. You become someone who does not rely on luck, talent, or circumstance. You become someone who generates results through presence, persistence, and action. There is no shortcut. There is no secret. There is no external force that can replace your commitment. Your transformation, your success, your potential, they all depend on one thing: your willingness to show up consistently and relentlessly no matter what. Every day you honor this principle, you move closer to the life you imagine, the person you are meant to become, and the impact only you can make. Your future is created in these repeated acts of courage, presence, and discipline. Show up, persist, commit, transform. Every choice you make matters, but none matters more than the decision to show up. It is the foundation of every achievement, the engine behind every breakthrough, the force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Most people wait for clarity, for motivation, for certainty, but life does not operate on their schedule. Opportunities do not pause, circumstances do not adjust, and fear does not vanish on its own. Action must come first. Neuroscience proves this. The brain responds to movement, to repetition, to effort. Confidence, courage, and skill are built through doing, not thinking, not hoping, not wishing. Every time you act, even imperfectly, you are reinforcing pathways in your mind that make persistence automatic, resilience natural, and achievement inevitable. Momentum is created in these small, consistent steps, compounded over time until it becomes unstoppable. You do not need to be inspired. You do not need the right moment. You do not need perfect conditions. You only need the courage to act, the discipline to persist, and the willingness to show up again and again, even when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, and uncertain. This is the invisible force that drives success. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Ease is the enemy of achievement. Every moment spent avoiding discomfort is a moment wasted, a moment that could have been used to build strength, skill, and momentum. Transformation requires tension. Progress requires effort. Courage requires action. Each time you persist through difficulty, you reinforce your capacity to endure, to excel, and to overcome. Every act of showing up, no matter how small, compounds into proof that you are capable, proof that you are committed, proof that you are unstoppable. Your identity is forged in these moments. You are no longer someone who hopes. You are someone who delivers. You are no longer defined by circumstance. You are defined by your choices. Every barrier you face, every challenge you encounter, every setback you endure is a test of this principle. When you respond with action, you transform the obstacle into a stepping stone. When you respond with persistence, you turn resistance into fuel. When you respond with courage, you convert fear into momentum. The life you imagine is built one deliberate step at a time. It is not the grand gestures, the sudden breakthroughs, or the perfect plans that define success. It is consistent action, relentless effort, and unwavering presence. Your power lies in your willingness to show up, to persist, and to act, regardless of the circumstances. Every day you honor this principle, you strengthen your habits, sharpen your focus, and expand your capacity. You move closer to the person you are meant to become, the life you are meant to live, and the impact only you can create. There is no shortcut, no secret, no external force required. Transformation is born in presence, persistence, and action. Show up, commit, persist, transform. Your future is built in these moments, and it begins the instant you choose to act. Every breakthrough begins with presence. Every life transformed begins with the simple, unwavering act of showing up. The world will not hand you success. It will not pause for your doubts or fears. It will not wait while you feel ready, motivated, or confident. Action must come first. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain does not wait for belief to act. It generates belief through action. Each choice to show up strengthens your habits, rewires your mind, and builds the resilience you need to endure challenges. Momentum is invisible at first, almost imperceptible, but it compounds in ways that are unstoppable. The person who acts consistently, regardless of circumstance, fear, or discomfort, creates results far beyond what talent, luck, or intelligence could achieve alone. Motivation is unreliable. It rises and falls with your mood and energy. Discipline is enduring. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement, between intention and reality. Every single time you show up, you reinforce the truth. You are capable, you are resilient, and you are unstoppable. Comfort is a trap. Ease is an illusion of safety that slowly erodes your potential. The life you dream of does not exist within comfort zones. Transformation requires tension, effort, and persistence. Growth exists in the moments when you push past hesitation, when you act despite doubt, when you refuse to yield to fear. Each act of presence compounds into strength. Each moment of persistence transforms into skill. Each decision to act reinforces your identity as someone who delivers, someone who persists, someone who achieves. Resistance, obstacles, and setbacks are not your enemies. They are the signals that you are growing, that you are moving, that you are alive. Every barrier faced and endured expands your capacity, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your resolve. Every small effort repeated daily accumulates into proof that you can accomplish what once seemed impossible. Your potential is not a limit. It is the foundation upon which your momentum is built. Your capacity is not fixed. It is forged in the fires of repeated action, discipline, and presence. The rule is simple. Show up. Show up when it is hard. Show up when it is uncomfortable. Show up when it is inconvenient. Show up when nobody is watching. Each time you honor this principle, you generate momentum that compounds, habits that solidify, and confidence that becomes unshakable. You are no longer defined by circumstance, fear, or hesitation. You are defined by your choices, your persistence, and your relentless commitment to action. Every moment you show up, you move closer to mastery, to freedom, to the life you are meant to live. Every deliberate step, every act of courage, every moment of presence builds proof, capacity, and unstoppable momentum. Transformation is born in action. Success is created in persistence. Power is forged in commitment. Your life is shaped in the moments you choose to show up again and again, without compromise, without hesitation, without pause. The rule is simple, yet its impact is profound. Act, persist, commit, transform.